Testing. 1 2 1 2. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am Sainsy93, and tonight we are at UFRL, and we are racing in Tier 2, and we are in the desert in Qatar. We have a short qualifying tonight, followed by a 10-lap sprint race, and then we'll finish that off by a half-distance race of 29 laps around Qatar. Apparently, we have 19 drivers tonight. It's got a good, possibly 19, 18. I'm not too sure. It's saying 19 at the moment. So I will go through the standings just so everyone is updated. So currently in the lead and is top of Tier 2, it is the Mercedes driver of Sorty Stevens, currently on 147 points. P2 is Ghosts Filthy Ghost, as you can see on the screen. But yep, UFRL Ghost is currently P2, and he's 17 points behind Salty Stevens. Really close in P3. It's Energy Dan in the Haas. He is only 19, very close between Ghost and Energy Dan. Only 2 points separate them. Then Viva is currently P4 in the AlphaTauri. Then P5 is Mr. Potwash. P6 is Brewdog. 7th is Hybrid. 8th is Gandalf. 9th is Cluja in the Williams. And round out the top 10 is Mr. Wiggles. So Saucy Stevens will be hoping to get a win and extend his lead in the championship. But can anyone stop him? Can Filthy Ghost get the race win? Or can someone like Viva or Mr. Wiggles get that race win? Heckwater 3756 says, is it new season? No, we had a break for Christmas, but now we are back. We are in round 9 tonight. So it is not a new season. We're currently on round 9. So I will go through the grid as soon as we are ready to get going. So tonight we have 2 Haas drivers of currently P3 in the championship is Energy Dan and his teammate Fed Spen. We have the 2 Mercedes drivers of Salty Stevens and VFX Instinct. In the McLarens, we have Mr. Potwash and Doug. Doug hasn't raced much in Tier 3, but he's taken a go in Tier 2 tonight. We have the 2 Ferraris of Shazam and PVR Widget, both Tier 3 drivers. So they are holding the flag for Ferrari tonight. What can they do here in Tier 2? We have the 2 Red Bulls of Mr. Wiggles and Filthy Ghost. We have 2 Aston Martins of Hybrid and Angry Badger. We have the 2 Williams of P-Grit and the Vicar. We have 2 AlphaTaris of F1 Viva and Norwegian Borat. We only have the 1 Alpine, which is UFR Madge. SFR Madge, not SFR Madge. And we only have the 1 Alfa Romeo tonight of Gandalf. That is and we have 18 drivers tonight. So we're missing 1 Alfa Romeo and 1 Alpine. As a lot of cars are already out on track. Gandalf looked like he was the first person out on track this evening. Everyone's trying to get an early lap in. I'm sure it will be a dry quali sprint race and race throughout. I'd be very shocked if there is rain. So I'd be interested to see if people go for 2 qualifying laps and then try and save some tyres for the race, or are they going to just go for it and try and get as high up the leaderboard as they can? Like I said, there is a lot of people already out on track this evening. As Gandalf now, he's going to start his flying lap. DRS is open and he's using his ERS, so this will be his flying lap. What can he do? We're going to watch his sector 1 and we'll go back to someone else after that. Let's see what the benchmark is for sector 1. There is a McLaren in the way. I think that could have affected him already. I'm not too sure. But let's see what Gandalf's first sector will be. The benchmark is a 26.8. So let's see what P Grit can do. It's a bit of carnage already out on the track. 27.0 for P Grit. So Gandalf is a tiny bit quicker at the moment. Filthy Ghost now, let's see what he can do. It's a 26.7, so he is now quickest in Sector 1. Obviously, still a lot way to go. But we're going to go back to Gandalf. His Sector 2 was a 53.9. As he is invalidated, so he will not be setting a time. Madge has also invalidated. P Grit. He has also invalidated. We're going to go to Filthy Ghost because he could be one of the first ones to set a lap here. I'm sure there's people probably there as well. But as Mr. Wheels goes quickest with 1:22.3 in the Red Bull. Let's see what his teammate can do. He goes wide. He will not improve, I don't think. It's going to be... He could still go quickest, actually. He does. A 1:21.5. He goes quickest, even with that problem at the end of the flying lap. Mr. Potwash now in the McLaren is going to go a 1:22.5. Puts him now P5. Let's see if anyone... As Angry Badger loses it, and he also has invalidated. VFX goes 1:24.4. P Grit. Now let's stay on board with P Grit. He has got a McLaren in the way, but I think the McLaren has moved. His sector 2 is a 1:01. I don't think he's actually on a lap because he doesn't seem to be using his ERS. Let's watch PVR widget now as he's going to cross the line, and it's going to be a 1:22.1 that puts him P2. PVR widget, what a lap from him. P Grit is going to cross the line, and he goes 1:30, but obviously he's going for a flying lap now. We're going to go down to Viva. And his sector 2 is at 54.2. As he is invalidated. Angry Badger now around the final corner, but he has also invalidated. So I'm surprised he didn't come into the pits there. He must invalidate right at the end. Let's go on board with P Grit, sorry, because I think he is on the lap. I think Gandalf is also on the lap. Gandalf is on the lap. Let's see what he can do, because he will probably be the next to cross the line here. He has run out of ERS though, so this is going to really affect him down this last straight. Let's see what Gandalf can do. Gandalf's going to cross the line, and it's going to be a 1:21.6. Puts him P2. So a good lap from Gandalf. P Grit did cross the line. He went a 1:22.8. Angry Badger has run out of ERS, unfortunately for him. I'm not sure if he is on the lap right now. He is coming into the pits. Viva is just on a out lap. Now we have your championship leader. Salty Stevens has finally come out on track. I reckon Filthy Ghost has probably got off half a second in that time, just from that problem he had at the end of the lap. So I think low 21s could be pole here tonight. VFX Instant is 3 seconds up on his time, it's saying, but I'm sure that can't be right, otherwise he's flying. I think he's just done his lap, sorry. I think he has just finished his lap. So let's go on board with Hybrid, who has just started his flying lap now. And he sets a first sector of a 26.5. Really good first sector from him. Salty Stevens' first sector. I think he just about got away. He's a 26.7. So at the moment, Hybrid is quicker in the first sector. Let's see what Hybrid's second sector will be. It's going to be a 53.8. Which it has gone purple on my map. So I think he has gone the quickest in the second sector. This is looking really good for Hybrid at the moment. Nice and tidy final corner. Hybrid now crosses the line in a second, and it's going to be a 121.4. Puts in P1. Hybrid goes quickest. Let's go down to Salty Stevens now, who is about to cross the line as well. What can Salty Stevens do? Can he go P1? Let's wait and see. It's P4 for Salty Stevens, a 21.7. 121.7 for Salty Stevens. Let's go down to the other two drivers who haven't set a lap. Madge now crosses the line, and it's a 122.1. Puts in P7. So at the moment, your top 10 are Hybrid is P1, Filthy Ghost is P2, Gandalf P3, Salty Stevens is P4, P5 is PBR Widget, 6 is The Vicar, 7th is Madge, 8th is Energy Dam, 9th is Sped Spen, and rounding out the top 10, it's Norwegian Borat. Shazam Sector 2 is a 55.3. Shazam now down the pit straight, and he is going to set a time of a 123.9. Puts in P16. Angry Badge now, his second sector is a 54.7. Madge has retired from the session. I'm not sure if he had a crash or he just retired into the pits. Does say caution in sector 3 and caution in sector 1, but not too sure what that is for. Angry Badger now, he's going to cross the line, and it's going to be a 122.7. Puts in P14. Let's go to the Vicar, who is on a lap. And he is a 10th down. Sorry, he just set a lap, and it was a 122.0. Puts in P5. Energy Dan now is on a flying lap. Currently in P8. And his second sector is a 26.9. He's a 10th down on his quickest lap so far. We're going to stay on board with Energy Dan at the moment. Might have to go to Gandalf in a second though, just to check where he is. Currently in P3. He is half a second down at the moment, Energy Dan, so improving a lot. Gandalf is currently a 10th down as well. Sorry, yeah, he's 10th down as well. So he will be improving hopefully as well. We're going to stick with Energy Dan because he's about to go through his final corner now. DRS is open. He's got a bit of ERS left, but it's saying deploy use, which will not help. And Energy Dan crosses the line at 120.8, puts in P5 as Gandalf goes quickest. We're 121.2 for Gandalf. Gandalf in the Alfa Romeo. A great lap from him. We're going to stay on board with Viva because he is on a proper flying lap right now. He did tell me in the Discord that this is not his favourite track and he is doing manual tonight. And that puts him P17 for Viva. Yeah, not a fan of this track, Viva, but he does always seem to do really well in the race. We'll wait and see. As we have 4 minutes left. A few drivers out on the track, but quite a few still in the pits. Lots of people going for 2 flying laps tonight, saving a set for either the sprint race or for the race. As Norwegian Borat now goes, he's about a 10th up on his quickest lap so far. Norwegian Borat currently in P11. Fed spends sector 1 time. He's a 10th down as well, so they're both improving at the moment. Mr. Potwash is not on an out lap, just getting out of the way of people. Energy Dan is about to set another flying lap, I think. He's just about to start his flying lap. P Grit is on the lap, but he has gone wide. Let's watch Fed spend because he's about to cross sector 2. And he is 2 tenths quicker. Not sure about Norwegian Borat. We're going to stay on board with Norwegian Borat just because he is about to finish his last flying lap. Let's see if he can improve from P11. And Norwegian Borat's going to cross the line. It's a 129.9, puts in P6. We're going to go down to Fedspend though because he is also improving. And he's going to go P9. Goes P9 with 122.0. Let's go on board with Energy Dan. But Energy Dan currently is up on his first sector. Let's see him improve on his second sector. He is a 10th down, second down, so he has aborted that lap. PVR Widget has also improved in his first sector. Mr. Wiggles is half a second up. Let's see if he will obviously go quicker than P12 as long as he can keep it on the track. There is 2 minutes left of qualifying. As Mr. Wiggles, DRS is open. It says deploy use for his ERS. That might affect him a tiny bit, but Mr. Wiggles is going to cross the line, and it's a 122.1. Puts him only P10 for Mr. Wiggles. Mr. Potwash is nearly 3 tenths up on his first sector. We will go back to him shortly. We're going to go on board with someone who is a bit closer to the finish line, which is not hybrid. Is it Doug? We're staying on board for Doug for the moment in the McLaren. Let's see what his sector 2 time will be. He's got his teammate right behind him. He is 7 tenths up on his quickest lap so far. VFX Instant is also going quicker. And so is Mr. Potwash. Everyone is improving at the moment. We're going to stay on board with Doug, though, because he's going to be the first person to cross this finish line out of these three. So Doug crosses the line, and it's going to be a 1:21.9. Puts in P7. Mr. Potwash crosses the line, and I think he goes P13. I think he must have invalidated. VFS Instant goes P6. Great lap from him. Hybrid is going to cross the line, and that will be, unless he's going for another lap now. He did not improve. Filthy Ghost is also not improving, but remember, he did have that awful end, and he is going to cross the line, and it's a 1:21.2. Just about beats Gandalf for pole. Salty Stevens is currently a 10th down on his quickest lap, but that is not going to be enough for P1 at the moment. Hybrid is about the same time, but he hasn't got enough ERS. I would be surprised if he's able to improve on his time. We're going to stay on board with the Mercedes of Salty Stevens, your championship leader. Let's see what he can do. He's going to cross the line any seconds down the pit straight, and he is going to cross the line. It's going to be a 1:21.1. Puts him P1 now. Salty Stevens, me saying he wasn't quick enough. He's had a blinding third sector, and he is now pole. Takes it away from Filthy Ghost. Hybrid, can he do anything? Still seems like he's trying. It's him and Mr. Wiggles still out on track. That is the last two. And he will not improve because his DRS is not open. And Mr. Wiggles also has backed out. So that is the final positionings for the Qatar sprint race. Taking P1. I didn't think he had it. I thought he was going to be back P4 or P3. It's Salty Stevens in the Mercedes. Taking P2 is his championship rival of Filthy Ghost. Not even a tenth separates the two. Gandalf, a great qualifying for him. Goes P3. Really unlucky not to get pole. Really close between them three. Attempts separate the top three. P4 is Hybrid. P5 is Energy Dan. 6th is a tier 3 driver of VFX Instinct. P7 is Norwegian Borat. 8th is Doug, another tier 3 driver. 9th is P-Grit, and the other Williams of the Vicar tops out the top 10. What a great final lap from Salty Stevens, though. The pressure was on, and he's only gone and done it. Look how close the top three are. So we are going to have a short break. Please do not ready up for the sprint race. Mrs. P or Mr. P will tell you. And then we will have a 10-lap sprint race. And that will all change by the end, I am sure. This is a definitely not over yet. There is still a lot more to happen tonight. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, I am back. So, like I said, we are going to go to a 10-lap sprint race. I'm sure unless other people get damaged, they will all probably go for... They might try and risk it and go for a set of softs, or I reckon most of them will just go for a set of mediums until the end. Quite a lot of tight turning corners here, so it's quite hard on the tyres, I can imagine. And then it will be followed by the 50% race. But we will go shortly. But what do you think, guys? Do you think Salty Stevens can get the sprint race win and follow it with the actual race win? Or do you think people like Gandalf or Filthy Ghost can compete with Salty Stevens? Because the qualifying was really, really tight. I do think there is a lot more time for Filthy Ghost in that car. But again, Salty Stevens does race really well. Really good at looking after his tyres. So I'd be interested to see what will happen. Again, I don't think, unless there is damage, I can't see anyone pitting in the sprint race. But again, if you get a front wing damage, as we are going to be underway in a few seconds, as we have 5 lights. And we are hopefully underway. There's a bit of stopping here, and we are underway now. Salty Stevens and Filthy Ghost seem to both have really good lap starts here. But Salty Stevens does carry on the lead, but he gives a lot of space to Filthy Ghost, and he will lose out on that position. And I think he actually got a warning for that because he went really, really wide. And already Filthy Ghost has taken the race lead. Salty Stevens, I thought he had a really good start there. He just gave so much space to Filthy Ghost. Doug has had a really, and Fedspen, not a great start. They're down 5 and 7 places. Viva has just taken Shazam, as Gandalf and Hybrid are fighting for P3 and 4, with Energy Dan right behind him as well, as there's already about a second gap. We'll just go for the tyres. I don't know why I went for position changes, because everyone wants to know what the tyre situation is, as I think someone, Instant, has had some major problem and he is flying down that list. We're going to go to Salty Stevens because he has right on the back of Filthy Ghost here. Not happy with his first corner where he lost his race lead. But there is 5 people on the softs, and Viva has gone to a set of hards. Salty Stevens now fighting with Filthy Ghost for the lead. Gets pushed out wide, and Filthy Ghost will retain that lead. But Salty Stevens is trying the undercut, and he will have to stay behind. But they're fighting tooth and nail. Has he got him here? He nearly lost it, I think. Fedspen picks up a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. I think Salty Stevens nearly lost his back end there, as Energy Dan went down to P10 as well. Sorry I missed that, but Hybrid is catching up to the back of Gandalf. Salty Stevens now, but we're going to go down to Viva actually, because he is flying in on these set of hards and has actually caught up to the back of Angry Badger really quickly. I'm shocked he went for a set of hards. I never thought I'd see that in a sprint race. There's something... He always does stuff different, Viva, and he's definitely done it tonight. Doug looking to try and get past Norwegian Borat for 8th position. As Filthy Ghost picks up the fastest lap. But P-Grip beats that with a 123.8. He is flying. And, sorry about that, but Hybrid has also just taken P3 from Gandalf. P-Grip really getting involved with these two as well now. Piglet really trying to fight to get past Gandalf, but he will have to stay behind. Literally pushing the Alfa Romeo here. Let's go back down to Norwegian Borat. With Doug right behind him. As PVR Widget picks up a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. As it's going to be a bit of a DRS train here. We're going to go to P-Grit though, because he has just taken Gandalf for P4, flying on them set of softs. As Mr. Wiggles is actually catching up to the back of Gandalf as well now. As he is having a look into the next corner, but he will have to stay behind. Filthy Ghost now is a second ahead of Salty Stevens. We're going to go down to Angry Badger as Norwegian Borat has actually had a spin. Not sure if there was contact with someone, but Norwegian Borat has had a spin now down in P14. Mr. Wiggles now trying to get past Gandalf, but Gandalf's still really close to P-Grit. The top two got a 2-second lead from Hybrid. With P-Grit actually catching up to the back of Hybrid now. As we are lap 5, so we have 5 laps to go of this sprint race. Really, really good battling so far. Gandalf having a go here on P-Grit. He's surely going to have a... He doesn't. He stays behind. I thought he was close enough to make that move. As he goes wide there, so I think he picked up a warning there. As PVR Widget is taken Angry Badger for P10. As they're side by side now. And he has to back out, and he will probably lose out to possibly Viva here as well. We're going to go to Mr. Wiggles though, and Gandalf and P-Grit. These 4 cars, Hybrid, P-Grit, Gandalf and Mr. Wiggles, having a great battle for P3, P4, P5 and P6. P-Grit does take P3. Hybrid obviously must have gone wide because now he is down in P6. How long will these soft tyres last though? When will these mediums become the better tyre? Yeah, I'm not too sure about this track and how long the tyres last. I haven't raced here before, so I'm not too sure what the tyres are like here, but Gandalf's got a really good chance of getting him. Needs to take that slipstream though. He will have the DRS and P-Grit will not, and Gandalf should fly by here. He does, so P-Grit loses that position. Gandalf back up to P3. Hybrid has a spin. Hybrid lost out massively now. Hybrid down now in P13, P14, so P-Grit right on the back of Gandalf again. This could be just happening lap by lap, I think, with the DRS at the end of the track down the pit straight. Quite hard to defend from people. The Vicar's actually getting very interested in this battle as well, catching up to these pack of 3. Gandalf could be a bit of a sitting duck here down this pitch straight. He just doesn't need to lose out 2 positions. He's going to lose out to 1, I think. This has got a really quick car. But Salty Stevens is actually catching up to Filthy Ghost now as well. Just to go back up to the top. As P-Grit has actually retaken P3. So P-Grit back up to P3. And there's a caution in Sector 3. Not too sure who it is, but someone has had a bit of an accident. Mr. Potwash now catching up to Hybrid. Hybrid goes really wide there. Has he got damage? That's the question. As Hybrid does pick up a 3-second time penalty. I thought we had gone wide in that last corner, and now he does pick up a 3-second time penalty. Viva on them set of hards. He's doing really well, up to P11 now. And he's catching up to PVR Widget. But we're going to go back to Gandalf because he has got this straight very soon. Mr. Potwash picks up a 3-second time penalty now. Gandalf now. Mr. Wiggles is really close to these two as well. Who's going to get the best slipstream? Gandalf going for the move again to retake P3. We have 2 laps remaining. Gandalf does retake the position for P3. This is going to be a great battle for the race because we have 2 laps remaining, and these, I reckon, these 3 or 4 drivers could be continuing this battle all through the night. There's nothing to separate these lots. As Viva must have gone wide because now he is 1.7 seconds behind Widget. As Shazam is actually catching up to the back of Hybrid. And Shazam nearly crashes into the back of Hybrid. Luckily, there is no contact. As P-Grit is actually lost out and nearly is over a second now behind Gandalf. So P-Grit is going to be a sitting duck to Mr. Wiggles, surely. As Madge and VFX are having a good battle down for P16. Mr. Wiggles now, can he get back? Can he go up to P4? He does. Mr. Wiggles now up to P4, and P-Grit has his teammate of the Vicar behind him. Has P-Grit tried to make these tyres, these soft tyres, do too much, and now is he getting affected by these? Because Gandalf now has a 1.5 second lead from these, as Salty Stevens picks up a 3-second time penalty, which is huge. Can Gandalf get anywhere near 3 seconds? He is closing on him. He's only about 4 attempts of taking that P2 from Salty Stevens. As we are on lap 9. So after this we have 1 more lap. And Gandalf is actually catching Salty Stevens at the moment. 3.4 seconds. As Angry Badger has actually caught up to the back of Energy Dan. Obviously these soft tyres I think must be going, because 4 people on the soft tyres, they are losing time now. And I think Angry Badger could get Energy Dan here, as Mr. Wiggles picks up a 3-second time penalty. That will affect him massively. P-Grit takes Mr. Wiggles as well for P4. But Angry Badger just doesn't have enough pace down that straight to take the position from Energy Dan, as we are on the final lap now. Salty Stevens has caught up to the back of Filthy Ghost. Is Filthy Ghost playing a bit of a tactical game here, trying to get that 3 seconds down to about 2.8. So Gandalf takes P2. Because there is 3.13 seconds. It's going to be seriously close here. Gandalf could be taking P2 in the sprint race. We are on the final lap. Salty Stevens, though, at the moment, Gandalf will be taking P2. As P Grit and Mr. Wiggles still battling here. P Grit retakes P4. Salty Stevens is going to have DRS here. He might take the race win, but I think he's going to lose out to P3 possibly here. So, Gandalf, can he do it? He does! Gandalf goes P2. Salty Stevens loses out that position. He goes P3. P Grit is P4. The Vicar is P5. Doug is P6. Mr. Wiggles goes down to P7 with that penalty. 8th is Energy Dan. Angry Badger is P9. 10th is Widget. 11th is Norwegian Borat. 12th is Viva. 13th is Shazam. 14th will be Hybrid. 15th is Mr. Potwash. And then it will be Madge, VFX, and then Fed Spen. Do people think that was a tactical move there from Filthy Ghost? Do you think he was just kind of backing Salty Stevens up a tiny bit? It's a dangerous move if he was, but that is seriously close. And Salty Stevens does lose out on P2. So Filthy Ghost takes P1. P2 will go to Gandalf, and rounding out the top 3 is Salty Stevens. So Salty Stevens loses out 2 positions there from his start. The biggest movers were Angry Badger was up 8, and Pigret and Vicar were up 5 each. So really well played from them. The biggest losers, unfortunately, were Hybrid, and someone was down 11 spots. I didn't see who it was, though. But taking the sprint race win was Filthy Ghost. So we'll be having a 5-minute break from possibly the sprint race to the race. Not too sure. Again, wait to see what Mrs. P says. Everyone listen to Mrs. P, otherwise you will get slapped. But there we go. Filthy Ghost takes the sprint race win, followed by Gandalf. Salty Stevens is 3rd. 4th is P Grit. 5th is the Vicar. 6th is Doug. 7th is Mr. Wiggles. 8th is Energy Dan. 9th is Angry Badger. 10th is Widget. 11th is Norwegian Borat. 12th is Viva. 13th is Shazam. 14th Hybrid. 15th Mr. Potwash. 16th Madge. 17th Instant. And the rounding up the 18 is Fed Spen. Again, 29 laps or 8 laps follow this, so a lot more action to come. Just going to get a drink quickly. I will be back. I am back, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be away very, very shortly. So, can the Red Bull of Filthy Ghost take the race win? Controlled the sprint race very, very well. Let's wait and see if he can do the same in the actual race. Gandalf did improve right at the end of that sprint race. Seemed to have really good pace on that set of mediums after about 6 or 7 laps. And I think the people on the mediums probably found out that the softs only last about 7 or 8 laps before they start losing pace. But they can do 10. It does seem like they can do at least 10. So will anyone go for a one-stopper and do a medium to soft strategy? I'll be very interested to see what Viva does, because he went for a set of hards in the sprint race. So let's wait and see what he thinks of doing. As we have 3 lights, we have 4 lights, we have 5 lights, and we are green. We are underway. Yes, we are. We are underway. Filthy Ghost has a good start there, it seems like. As there's a crash at the back already. There is a major, major crash. Luckily, no one had DNF'd. We have some sort of either a virtual or a safety car. It's not telling me at the moment. So the tyre strategies are... Salty Steamer's actually already taken Gandalf. He has gone for a set of softs. As we do have a full course safety car. So that collision at the start of the race has brought out a safety car, which will not help the people on the softs. So what we have is 4 drivers who've gone for a set of hards, which are Angry Badger, Viva, Mr. Potwash, and VFX. We have 7 people on the mediums, and then we have 7 people on the softs. So a mixture of strategies here. Again, this kind of helps the people on the mediums, I would say. So they're trying to say go to for a one-stopper for a soft, you need to get to at least 12 laps and then go over to a set of mediums. And if anyone would like to know, Middlesbrough are currently beating Chelsea 1-0. Yeah, Middlesbrough 1, Chelsea 0. If anyone would like to know that, that is the score, as everyone is going to catch up to the safety car. We have 3 people in the pits, which is Fed, Spen, Norwegian Borat and Shazam. So we didn't even get to turn 1 and there was a safety car. At least no one DNF'd from that first lap collision. As everyone will just go up to the back of the safety car now and wait for the free drivers to catch up to this lot. So at the moment, your biggest movers were probably not too much, but Madge is up 4 spots, VFX is up 3, and the biggest loser is probably Pigrit, who's down 3 spots, with Norwegian Borat down 6 and Shazam down 5. I think they're the two that did have the collision at the start. So we will have another lap of the safety car. Filthy Ghost does keep that lead though, so be happy with that. But Salty Stevens is going to be quick on them softs at the start. But how long can Salty Steven make them softs last? We'll wait and see. So everyone has caught up to the back of the field now. So hopefully we will be underway after this lap. Sure we will be. So yeah, the safety car will be in this lap, so we will be racing once more. As Filthy Ghost will just hold up the field and he will wait to see when he will go. I think it will be very, very late, because that straight is really, really long and you can get affected massively if you go too early. I think it will be quite a late. But I think he's gone. He has. He's already gone, and Salty Stevens went really wide there. But he has had a good... He's catching up, and I think he's going to get him. He could get the lead here. But he does stay behind. I thought he was going to have a go there. Doug and Mr. Wiggles. And Mr. Wiggles is having a fight here for P5. And Mr. Wiggles does take P5 from Doug. Salty Stevens really, really close to Filthy Ghost. Trying to push him along, really. Bit of lagging going on, it seems like, these two as well. We're going to go to the back of the field though, because Fedspen, Norwegian Borat, having a great battle here down the back of the field. I will keep an eye at the top, but at the moment, this is the battle that is probably the closest between the VFX Hybrid, Fedspen and Norwegian Borat. As Madge is actually catching up to the back of Viva as well on a set of softs. Viva obviously on a set of hards, so I'm not too sure if he can compete too much for this position. He obviously won't make it easy, but Madge on them set of softs will be flying. But we're going to go back up to the top because Salty Stevens catching right up to the back of Filthy Ghost once more. And he goes the long way out the outside. Tries to go around the outside. Has he got enough? He hasn't. Has to stay behind once more. The Vicar right on the back of Gandalf as well. Salty Stevens really trying to get past Filthy Ghost here. Filthy Ghost defending really, really well. As Salty Stevens already picks up a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. Which is a major, major problem for him. As Viva is actually catching up to P. Grits here for P9. As I said, Viva is using manual tonight. He was doing the gears himself, so a very brave man. But doing really well at the moment. Let's go to... we're going to have to go back up to the top because Salty Stevens once again right behind Filthy Ghost. He needs to get him past him as quickly as possible. Can he do it here? 3/10 separate him. He surely has enough pace. He's as DRS is enabled now, but he won't have it now. As Filthy Ghost defends the inside again. I think he's kept it again. He has. But they're side by side. Who's going to have the... And Filthy Ghost keeps the lead. Filthy Ghost doing really well here. And he is still P1. How long will them softs last? That is the question. The Vicars can't get past Gandalf either for P3. These two haven't lost the back of the top two either. As Angry Badger and Mr. Potwash are having a battle for P13. Swapping two for now there for 13th and 14th. But Mr. Potwash does come out on top, and now he is up to P13. Salty Stevens just lost out to the back of Filthy Ghost there a tiny bit as well. And Gandalf has actually caught up to Salty Stevens now. All have DRS, but Salty Stevens would want to be closer, and he is not at the moment. Obviously, we'll have that DRS, but I don't think he's got enough to get past him. He's going to have to stay behind. We're going to go to Fedspend, though, because he is going to take VFX for P15. They're still side by side, though. Angry Badger has retaken Mr. Potwash for 13th. As Viva is catching P. Grit now for P9. With Madge right behind him as well. P. Grit kind of got a bit of a train at the moment of 3 cars. So let's go back up to the top because Salty Stevens has got a chance here to take P1. Is he close enough? He goes for the inside this time. Can he make this stick? He pushes him wide, and Salty Stevens has taken the lead of the Qatar Grand Prix. He finally does the job and has taken the lead. Filthy Ghost, though, is not letting this go, and he is fighting again to retake Salty Stevens. Filthy Ghost now really close to the back. I think the soft tyres are struggling now. There's quite a big gap now between third and fourth. Gandalf losing the Vicar and Mr. Wiggles a tiny bit. Mr. Wiggles now getting up to the back of the Vicar. I don't think these tyres are going to last to lap 12, these softs. I think it has to be... I think the people on the softs are going to have to go for the mediums on the hards on about lap 10. Salty Stevens has got a massive problem here because I think Filthy Ghost is really easily going to overtake him here. Can't see anything else, and Filthy Ghost does he hasn't got the straight line speed. Just about gets it done, it seems like. And Salty Steven picks up another 3-second time penalty. He is now up to 6 seconds. As there's a three-way battle for the lead. And Salty Stevens has not lost out on one, but he's lost out on 2 positions. Gandalf taking P2 now. Mr. Wiggles has gone up to P3 as well. The Vicar did pit for a set of mediums. So did Energy Dan. So these soft tyres are not working anymore. They seem to be really struggling. I think they're going to have to go for a 2-stopper now. The people that went for a set of softs. As there's a caution in Sector 2. Fedspen has had a spin. As Madge, I think, has pitted. So has Salty Stevens. So the people on the softs are starting to pit. There's actually only one left on that, and it is P Grit. So Filthy Ghost leads from Gandalf, but Gandalf only 8 tenths away. So he does have DRS at the moment. Mr. Wiggles not too far off this pair either. Looking really good tonight for the Red Bulls. As the people that were on the softs have gone for a set of mediums. So I reckon they go for a set of softs at the end of this race, I'm guessing. We're going to go down to the Vicar though, because him and Salty Stevens are fighting here. Salty Stevens needs to be careful here. He's in a battle with the Vicar, and if he gets overtaken down this straight, he needs to get a bigger gap really soon. Viva catching to the back of P Grit for P7. We're going to go up to the top though, because they are down the straight, and Gandalf does have DRS. As Hybrid pits from P6, which I'm surprised about. Has Viva got enough pace to overtake P Grit? He has not. P Grit still on them set of softs. He needs to get probably 2 more laps and then go for a set of mediums if he wants to do a 1-stopper tonight. The Vicar and Salty Stevens fighting for that lead. And Salty Stevens just about keeps it. But there's some great battling between these two. These two catch into the back of Shazam pretty quickly. Obviously on much newer mediums. We're going to go to Viva though, because he is as Madge picks up a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. Viva, can he get past P. Grit here? Kind of a bit stuck at the moment, and his teammate of Norwegian Borat is catching up to the pack of these two now. Viva's got a great chance here to take this position though. And he does. So Viva is up to P6. He breaks a bit early though, and P. Grit still fighting for this position, and he does retake that position. Great racing from P. Grit to retake that position. Salty Steven and the Vicar have taken Shazam for P12 and 13. They will try and catch up to the back of VFX. Norwegian Borat has had a spin, losing a lot of positions there. P. Grit lost out a few positions as well. Too sure what's happened to him. I think he has a puncture. It looks like he could have a puncture here, because he is all over the place and nearly crashes into Salty Stevens. I think he must have a puncture. Can't really see it on the screen. But he is losing out. And Gandalf has taken the lead. He has overtaken Filthy Ghost for the lead of this race. Gandalf just seems to be improved the older them tyres get, and Gandalf has actually taken the lead of this race now. Gandalf in the Alfa Romeo doing an outstanding job tonight. As Hybrid sets the new fastest lap on the new set of softs. I'm guessing P. Grit doesn't have a puncture because he's still out on track. We're going to stay on board with Filthy Ghost though, because he has got a chance to retake the lead here. Then we'll go down to Salty Stevens because he is right behind Mr. Potwash. Filthy Ghost will take the lead, so we're going to go down to Salty Stevens as Mr. Wiggles pits. And Salty Stevens will take the position from Mr. Potwash. Fed Spen picks up a 3-second time penalty. Where is the nearest battle now? Let's go to VFX. I think VFX just got taken by the Vicar though. And there is a full course safety car. Fed Spen has lost his front wing. So we have a full course safety car, which is going to help the likes of Filthy Ghost, Gandalf, Doug, Widget, Viva, Angry Badger, who will all pit. And I think probably Salty Stevens might even pit, because if he goes for a set of mediums now, he can go right to the end. We'll wait and see. I think the top will go for a set of hards. Viva, it will go for a set of mediums, so will Angry Badger, I reckon. But the top four are going to have to go for hards, because the softs are not going to last. Said they will go for a set of hards. I want to see if Salty Stevens comes in. He is. Thought he would. He can go for another set of mediums now as well. So everyone is pitting. Mr. Wiggles will not pit. It's really going to affect Mr. Wiggles. He got really unlucky. Let's see where Mr. Wiggles comes out. Will it affect him too much? So actually Mr. Wiggles will come out P3, so it hasn't affected him at all. Mr. Wiggles does come out in P3. Hybrid stays out on track, which I'm very, very surprised about. He's on a set of softs, 4 laps old. He should have pitted, surely. He surely should have pitted. He could have gone for a set of mediums and gone to the end. I'm very surprised about that. So the top 5 are all on hards. Then Viva is on a set of mediums. Hybrid on used softs. Then you got Badger on mediums. Salty Stevens on the hards. Potwash on mediums. The Vicar on hards. VFX are on mediums. Energy Dan is on the hards. Shazam is on softs. Madge is on hards. Norwegian Borat on mediums. And the bottom 2 are both on softs. And then the penalty situation is as followed. So everyone except for Salty Stevens are all on 3 seconds. With Salty Stevens currently on 6 seconds. So we have 7 drivers at the moment on penalties. As we have about 3 cars to catch up, so we'll have another lap of the safety car. And then the position changes are Mr. Wiggles is up 4. Doug is up 2. Widget is up 5. Viva up 6. Hybrid is up 7. Angry Badger is up 1. Salty Stevens is down 6. Mr. Potwash is up 5. The Vicar's down 6. VFX is up 5. Energy Dan is down 5. Shazam is down 1. Madge is up 1. Norwegian Borat's down 5. Fed Spends up 1. And the biggest loser, unfortunately, is P Grit at the moment, who's down 14 places. It'd be interesting last 13 laps because everyone is on completely different strategies. As Filthy Ghost is really trying to warm these tyres up. I'm pretty sure the safety car will be in this lap. It is, so the safety car is in this lap. As Filthy Ghost is just trying to warm his tyres up now. As Gandalf's just sitting right behind Filthy Ghost now. Gandalf got a really good chance here to win this race. Filthy Ghost is not going to go yet. He has gone now. He has gone early again. And Gandalf's had a really good chance here to take the lead. Filthy Ghost goes defensive. Who's going to brake later? Gandalf has to go the long way and he will not be able to do it. Filthy Ghost just about staying in the lead. Mr. Wiggles just watching these two. Nearly contact with Gandalf. He has to stay behind, but really good fighting. As Fedspen, Pigrit and Norwegian Boy having a good battle there. Someone has gone really wide. PVR Widget with Viva catching up to this back of this pack now. Mr. Wiggles right behind Gandalf. Gandalf's got 1 second. He's lost 1 second to Filthy Ghost now. Struggling on these hards at the moment. Always seems to struggle a bit at the start, Gandalf, and then does bring him back later on. Doug picks up a 3-second time penalty, which was really unfortunate for Doug, currently in P4. As VFX is moving down the grid as well. Can Mr. Wiggles take Gandalf here? He does. So now Red Bull are 1 and 2. Gandalf will fight back here. Who is going to take this? Gandalf picks up a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. Didn't see him go off the track there. I think there's a bit of a harsh one. Has he just lost out to Viva as well? He has. Viva's just taken 2 positions in 2 corners. But he goes too defensive, Viva. And there's contact. And I'm not too sure there. Seemed like that was really unfortunate there. But now Viva's just lost out so many positions. So has Gandalf. Gandalf seems to get annoyed and kind of crash into him a tiny bit by my screen, it looked like. But now Red Bull have a great chance of a 1-2 here. Gandalf has retired from the session, which is a shame because obviously he's just. I guess he's. I'm not sure if he's rage quit or he actually had a crash. We'll have to wait and see. We'll see what VFX sees on his screen. See anything as Doug has lost out to Hybrid. Again, I'm not too sure what happened between Viva and Gandalf. It affected them both massively because now Viva is down in P15 and Gandalf's DNF, so have to wait and see what happens in the Discord. As Doug is fighting to get back into the podium positions. P4 and P5 is currently placed by 2 Tier 3 drivers. So Tier 3 are showing the way tonight at the moment. As Fedspen picks up a 3-second time penalty. The Vicar picks up a 3-second time penalty. As Hybrid does take he just about stays ahead of Doug for P3. Filthy Ghost has picked up a 3-second time penalty, which is massive for Mr. Wiggles. Mr. Wiggles could be on for a race win at the moment. 9 laps to go. Can Filthy Ghost get 3 seconds ahead, or can Mr. Wiggles stay within that 3 seconds? We have 9 laps to go. VFX sets the new fastest lap. Saucy Stevens here trying to get past PVR Widget. I think he just got another warning. Has he just taken 2 positions? No, he hasn't. I think he's spun. He has. Looked like he was taking a really weird route into that next corner. And Saucy Stevens now down in P12. Mr. Potwash now catching up to the back of PVR Widget. As Doug does take Hybrid now for P3. Hybrid has pitted. That is why. So Doug now up to P3. Mr. Potwash does have to stay behind PVR Widget. As Hybrid has gone for another set of soft tyres, which will get him to the end of this race. Mr. Wiggles now 2.7 seconds behind Filthy Ghost. Salty Stevens picks up a 3-second time penalty, so I think he's now up to 9 seconds. He is, so now up to 9 seconds. If these people without the penalties can stay out of penalties, they've got a great chance of moving up this field. But at the moment, Filthy Ghost, even with that 3-second penalty, well, he's 2.8, so he's nearly got enough time to keep this race win. But we'll have to wait and see. Hybrid has just taken Norwegian Borat for 12th. He's going to be really quick on them tyres. If there's a late safety car though, everything changes. As Shazam has pitted. We're going to go up to Madge, who is fighting with P Grit. P Grit on 7-lap softs. Can't imagine he's going to be able to get on the end, to get to the end on them tyres. As Filthy Ghost is over 3 seconds ahead of Mr. Wiggles. We're going to stay on board with Madge because this is the closest battle at the moment. As Viva sets the fastest lap at 1:24.1. Madge now got DRS, and I think it should be an easy overtake to P Grit. It is, so Madge now goes up to P7. Hybrid is flying down in P10. But how quick can he go? He just sets a new fastest at 1:23.9. And more importantly, hey, he has no penalties. As Viva has just taken Norwegian Borat for 16th. I think Norwegian just pitted though, so. As Viva picks up a 3-second time penalty. Now we're down to 3 drivers without penalties. We're going to go up to Angry Badge though, because he is catching Doug really quickly. Doug, I'm not sure he's going to be able to do much here down this straight. As Shazam picks up a 3-second time penalty. as Angry Badger does take P3. Interesting to see what the penalty situation. They are both on 3 seconds. So this is fighting for a podium. Mr. Potwash catching PVR Widget now. Madge catching P-Grit. P-Grit did retake that position from Mad. As Norwegian Borat sets a new fastest lap now. As PVR Widget picks up a 3-second time penalty. And Doug will keep the DRS. But more importantly, Mr. Potwash seems to have got a bit closer to PVR Widget. And can Madge get past P-Grit here? No, he can't. He has to stay behind as well. The Vicar has pitted. Hybrid is flying still. Only 1.8 seconds behind Salty Stevens. Norwegian Borat picks up a 3-second time penalty. Mr. Potwash now. Seriously close to the Ferrari of PVR Widget. Can he get past here? Doug's got a great chance to retake P3 as well. He stays behind, no. And Mr. Potwash will not be close enough. Hybrid now. Can he get past Salty Stevens? He can. Salty Stevens doesn't really fight. And Hybrid is up to P9. He's now 7 seconds behind Madge. Salty Stevens kind of just trying to get to the end now, trying to get as many points as he can. Not been a good race for him, unfortunately. He won't be happy with how it's gone, and he picks up another 3-second time penalty, unfortunately for him. Doug now just sitting on the back of Angry Badger. Filthy Ghost now got a 5.5 second lead from his teammate. Can Doug get past Angry Badger now? Going into lap 27. As there's a nice little wobble there from Angry Badger. Doug should be able to get past him. As Doug stays behind. Is Doug waiting to the last lap? Is he playing the move of waiting? P-Grit has actually taken Mr. Potwash now. 4P6 on 12 laps soft. 12 laps soft tyres. Norwegian Borat has retired from the session. It can't be a safety car, surely. Or anything like that. It's surely too late. No, it's not. Luckily for everyone on penalties. VFX catching Shazam down for P12. Be interested to see what happens at the end of this race with the penalty situation. I'm not clever enough to deal with that. I didn't do very well in maths, so I'm not going to try and work that out. We'll just have to wait to see what the computer does at the end. As we have 16 drivers left with 2 DNFs. As we are at lap 28. Energy Dam picks up a 3-second time penalty. These three now really close to each other here. As VFX picks up a time penalty, will not help him at all. He was the only one of 3 that didn't have a penalty. Salty Stevens pits for a set of softs. Obviously going for the fastest lap. As we're going to go up to Doug. They have I think Viva in the way, who is on I think he's just unlapped himself, obviously on them new softs. Doug surely goes for this now. He surely goes for this for the P3. This is the luck as we are entering the final lap now. I can't see Angry Badger doing much to stop him. As Doug now does take P3 and Mr. Potwash takes P Grit for P6. But there's battle still back here. Mr. Potwash needs to cut him off. He does, and Mr. Potwash is up to P6. These three battling for P6 here. And Hybrid getting involved very, very soon. Only 1.8 seconds behind these now. Going to make a lot of places up, I think, at the end of this race, Hybrid. But let's go to your race winner. He started P2 in the sprint race. He won the sprint race. And now he's gone and won the actual race. Filthy Ghost takes the race win. P2 will go to Mr. Wiggles. 1-2 for Red Bull. Doug gets P3 with Angry Badger P4. P5 will go to Widget. Then we'll wait and see with all the movement. I'm not sure with all the penalty situations. Hybrid goes P6, so he takes Mr. Hotwash, P-Grit and Madge. Salty Stevens going for that fastest lap. We're seeing if he can do it. He is 1.2 seconds quicker, but can he go and get the fastest lap? He went at 1:23.5. I don't think that was quickest. It isn't. Norwegian Borat keeps the fastest lap. Salty Stevens goes P11 in the end. Teammate VFX goes ahead of him. Fed Spen will be 12th. 13th will be Shazam. The Vicar will be 14th. And Energy Dam will be P15th with Viva P16. But your race winner is the Red Bull of Filthy Ghost. It's like watching F1 in real life. A 1-2 Red Bull most weeks, but for tonight, Hasn't happened that much this season in Tier 2, but your race winner is Filthy Ghost, Mr. Wiggles. An outstanding performance there. I can't remember where he started in the after qualifying. I think he was in the bottom 10. I think he was about 13th. So going from P13, 14th to up to P2, an outstanding job from him. And P3, it's a Tier 3 driver. It's Doug in the McLaren. He hardly races in Tier 3, but Tier 2, he's only gone and taken P3. Great job from him. P4 went to Angry Badger. P5 was PVR Widget, another Tier 3 driver. 6th is P Grit. 7th is Hybrid. Oh god, that's really confusing. Wait, that can't be right. There we go. So, Doug takes P3, Angry Badger P4, PVR Widget takes P5, Hybrid takes P6, Mr. Potwash takes P7, 8th goes to Grit, 9th goes to Madge, and another Tier 3 driver, VFX, takes the 10th position. 11th was Salty Stevens, 12th was Fedspen, 13th was Salty Stevens, 14th was The Vicar, 15th was Energy Dan, and 16th was Viva. Norwegian Borat and Gandalf unfortunately did not finish the race, and both DNF'd. But well done to Filthy Ghost. Well deserved that whole race. Controlled it really well. He had a bit of a battling with Salty Stevens at the start and with Gandalf at the middle, but other than that, kind of controlled the actual race, and fully deserved. So Filthy Ghost is your race winner. Well done to everyone. That was a good race. Challenging track. Really hard to keep it on the track, it obviously seems like, with that many penalties. Don't think I've seen that many penalties in Tier 2 before. But well done to everyone. Great racing. Anyway, I have been Sainsy93. You've been watching UFRL. We've been at Qatar, Tier 2, and we will be back for Tier 2 next week. But tomorrow is Tier 3, and they are at the Netherlands. So please watch tomorrow if you can. Thank you very much. Good night.